I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and we like to get together from a B1 perspective. B1 means Black first. Black first means we put our community at the top of our priority list. Black first means we educate our kids. Black first means we want our people to win. So if you are Black first, put a B1 in the chat. All the B1 people, shout yourselves out. We got a lot to talk about. So today, I got something interesting. I want to bring up this brother, Zion Williamson. Apparently, Zion, he likes the ladies, and the ladies like him. And he's finding that sometimes when God gives you what you want, it may not be what you need. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down some of what's been going on with him and this crazy lawsuit, and also break down some financial theories around athletes protecting their money and why I predict that Zion Williamson is probably going to have a lot of financial problems by the time he's done. So get comfortable, buckle up, seatbelt. We're going to get started on drboycetv.com right now.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to co-sign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I want to say what's up to everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. I assume you guys can hear me. If you can help me do a quick audio check, please let me know. Give me a quick yes to let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can hear me all right. Also, in case you don't know who I am, I'm a finance professor, and I like to talk about economic issues that relate to the Black community. And we actually do a free financial class. I teach millions of people all around the world, and we do this for free every morning. Just text the word morning to the number 87948. It's right there on the screen. Text it on your phone, and I will send you an invitation because we're serious about this wealth thing, man. If we don't start changing our behavior, we gonna get our ass kicked. So anyway, something I mentioned earlier, Zion Williamson, who is literally one of just the most talented athletes I've ever seen, is the latest athlete that is about to get just carjacked in broad daylight over his interesting obsession with women, some of whom have many, many very large and fake body parts. Apparently, Zion has a lawsuit that's pending right now with one lady, and there's another lady who actually came out on a video and said she's going to sue him as well, or she may sue him as well. And they're claiming that Zion did some things to them that were inappropriate. And of course, if he did those things inappropriately, then that's not cool. But then again, at the same time, you know that money tends to draw a lot of attention, sometimes from the wrong kind of attention. In case you want to know how much money's at stake, Zion is a rich dude. Let me tell you how much money this brother makes. He just signed in 2022. This is 3 years ago. The brother signed a 5-year, $197,230,450 contract. So it's exactly $197,230,450 and probably 18 cents. So this brother's making about $40 million a year. He was guaranteed $52 million. So he's going to get but actually the full $197 million was initially guaranteed. I don't know what that means exactly. But either way, though, he is making crazy amounts of money. Good Lord Jesus, these guys are making so much money. And so in his previous contract was a 4-year deal for $44 million. That was his rookie contract. So this guy is sitting on a whole lot of money. He's very, very young, and he's about to go trick it off, because unfortunately, sometimes the devil likes to wave dollar bills in your face to get you to do something stupid. And I'm going to give you kind of the breakdown of what's been happening, and I'm going to let you guys know why this kind of thing is worth talking about, and it's the kind of thing that concerns me. So let me give you some of the breakdown, the details. So apparently, there is a lawsuit civil lawsuit that was filed on May 30th, which is last week or earlier this week, in Los Angeles Superior Court by a woman identified as Jane Doe. She's alleging that they had a relationship from 2018 to 2023. So I'm sure somebody knows who Jane Doe is. And there are two alleged incidents between September and October of 2020. So this is 5 years ago at a Beverly Hills residence rented by Williamson. The plaintiff claims she was raped after refusing sex, with Williamson allegedly pinning her down and taking her phone to prevent reporting. So she says that he strangled her, causing unconsciousness, kicking, beating, and slamming the car door on her head in 2022, leading to a loss of consciousness. She's also claiming coercive control, including threats to kill the plaintiff and her family, unauthorized entry into her apartment, and stealing belongings. The alleged threats by Williamson were also to have his security guard shoot the plaintiff and kill her parents, including an incident in 2022 where he pointed a loaded firearm at her head. And she also says that there was a non-consensual filming of the sexual encounters, and he threatened to release the footage. That sounds pretty terrible, so the alleged abuses occurred in multiple states: California, Louisiana, and Texas. The lawsuit claims also that that this happened while Williamson was intoxicated or using drugs, including cocaine. I hope that's not true. The cocaine will mess you up. And the plaintiffs are seeking monetary damages between $18 and $50 million, because I guess that's the way you get justice nowadays. You don't go to the police, you don't get people locked up, you don't get people arrested. You go get $50 million, and that makes everything okay. Apparently, I'm not sure. I'm not here to judge or speculate. I'm just here to say that it's interesting, right? Because if he was broke, it'd be a different conversation. That's the big question I always ask is, if he was not, let me ask y'all this. Give me a yes or no. If Zion Williamson worked at like UPS and was making like $60,000 a year, do you think that this lawsuit would be filed? Like, what do y'all think? Do you think the suit would be filed? What do you think would be different if Zion Williamson didn't have a contract for $197,260,450? What do you think would be different in this case? Do you think that that everything would be the same, that she would still be suing 5 years later, and that it would still be going to court? Or do you think that maybe it wouldn't be a big deal because he ain't got no money anyway? Now, again, I'm not here to say that she's lying. I'm not here to say that at all. Nobody knows. Nobody knows if somebody's lying. I think that it just leads to this interesting thing, though, where there must be a conversation about economic risk and how generational wealth gets destroyed in your face. You wonder why black wealth is going down, and then these things happen in your face. You see them happening all the time in your face, and then you wonder where black wealth is going. See, I need y'all to understand exactly how much $197,260,450 actually is. That amount of money could fund 20 HBCUs for the next 100 years. Yeah. All right, boys, don't do it. Don't do it, boys. Should I do it? Do you really want to do it? Like, you can't fake influence. Okay, all right. So get on it like that. All right. So let me go ahead and do this. Okay. Oh my gosh. Let me do this real quick. All right. So do you know, if you were to list like all the HBCUs in America and list their total endowments in terms of like how much money they actually have, most HBCUs, from what I understand, don't even have $10 or $20 million in their endowment. There are literally entire Black-owned institutions that don't even have $50 or $100 million in their endowment. And the fact that you have guys throwing away $100 million over sex should literally make you want to riot. It's literally worse than all these other things that you claim white folks are doing to us. That, I'm sorry, throwing away $100 million or whatever. I mean, the Club Shay Shay stuff, you saw that, where Shannon Sharp is going to go make an OnlyFans model richer than every HBCU in America, damn near. It bothers me, and what really bothers me is that there are not more people that are alarmed by this. Right. What bothers me is that there aren't more people talking about this. They're not talking about, see, in order for you to really talk about things like reparations and talk about the lack of generational wealth in the Black community, you have to figure out where to stop the bleeding. You have to figure out where your wealth is going. And so if you were to list HBCU endowments, and you start at the bottom, then give me 1 second. I'm gonna actually find this information because I think this is important. Yeah, so if you were to list HBCU endowments from the lowest to the highest, you would find probably dozens of HBCUs that have endowments of less than even $20 million. Like schools like Simmons College in Kentucky could take that money and literally educate 100,000 kids over the next 100 years. You got schools like Philander Smith, Fisk University that don't have that kind of money. You've got schools like Talladega that don't have that kind of money. Spelman's got a decent endowment, but a lot of our universities don't have that much money. And so I'm not here to just talk about the HBCUs. I'm really talking about the fact that you're never going to build any wealth if you have a culture that tells you to throw all your wealth away. And in fact, actually, if you were to look at a lot of these universities, I'm looking at the list right now, and it's really, really disturbing. Let me see here. I'm looking for the endowment numbers, not the tuition numbers. Jeez, come on, man. All right. So anyway, let me get back to the story. Let me finish talking about what's going on with Zion here. All right. So to give you more details on his lawsuit, basically, there's another lady, apparently a porn star, who has also come out and said she's going to also sue because she says that she's also a victim of his. And not to say that this is impossible, it's just, but you happen to be more likely to be in the middle of these lawsuits when you're sitting on a whole bunch of money. So like I finally got the numbers up here. You've got schools like Benedict College that only have $21 million in their endowment. So literally a guy like Zion Williamson, rather than putting his money in the pockets of porn stars and Shannon Sharp giving his money to OnlyFans models, they can literally go and fund that university for the next 50 to 100 years. They could go to Morris College, which has an endowment of less than 10 million, and fund that school for many, many decades. They could go to Cheney University, which has an endowment of 15.9 million, and literally 10x their endowment overnight, right? And so ultimately, when you're talking about things like Trump taking away DEI programs and not funding government contracts for Black-owned businesses and all the unemployment, the fact that Black women lost more jobs than any other group of people in America, a lot of the reason that you're vulnerable economically to other groups is because you don't have your own infrastructure. The reason you don't have your own economic infrastructure is because when you get men and women, they are in a position to add to that infrastructure, they are just so gone mentally with unhealed trauma and mental health issues and addictions. Sex is an addiction for some people. They end up throwing the money away. And literally, we think that's okay. We'll get outraged about George Floyd, but won't get outraged when a Negro throws away $100 million in Black wealth. Like, we'll get outraged about what Trump said about Black people, but you ain't got nothing to say when you got guys out here literally sitting on enough money to fund all your universities for the next 100 years, and they just trick it all away because they want to go sleep with a 20-year-old OnlyFans model. Again, this kind of thing makes me mad. And again, maybe it's because I'm a financial guy and I pay attention to the money, but I'm just sitting there and I'm just laughing to myself. I'm sitting there saying, this lady, look at those big old fake titties. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what Tesla factory she got those body parts from, but it's like so weird, man. Like literally, I actually wrote about this in my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. It's called Economic Immaturity. Economic immaturity is where you get grown man money, but you spend your money like a kid. And this is an example of economic immaturity. The fact that, look, man, if you want to have women, go get women. If you want to have sex, go have sex. But the fact that you're so willing to put yourself in these goofy positions where you're literally going to end up paying tens of millions of dollars because of who you were sleeping with, that's not just hurting you. That's hurting your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids. That's hurting the community that you come from. Why is it not that we don't raise more young Black men to understand that when you go out and you get successful and you get some money, you're supposed to come back to the hood and elevate the condition of that community. You're supposed to get with your thinkers, your scholars, your business owners, your investment people, and not just take care of you. You're cool. You're taken care of. You take care of the community that built you, the community that raised you, the people that helped you even get to the position where you could become whatever the hell it is that you think you are. It is only white supremacy that teaches you to abandon the people who built you. Tell me if you get what I'm saying. White supremacy is what teaches you to abandon the people who built you. So when I look at Zion Williamson, I see this guy. He's a great athlete. He's super talented. I love watching him play, but I'm really disappointed, man. I'm really, really sad. And again, if any of these things are true, if he is messing with drugs and beating on women, of course, that's highly inappropriate. And one of the other things I can tell you is that when you look down the list of things, that cause wealth to be destroyed. If you look at the list of things that can cause athletes to lose all their wealth and go bankrupt within 2 or 3 years of their careers being over, drugs is up there on the list too. If you mess with substances that alter your mind, you are threatening the black community worse than the KKK ever could. The black men on dope, black men who love to throw down the liquor, hit up all the, hit up various substances, whether it's cocaine, heroin, or anything like that, have caused so much damage and so much trauma to so many people in the community. And it's insanity to me. It's the most racist thing in the world that you literally support rappers who get money from white folks to promote these things in your community. You got rappers who literally glorify the drug dealer. They glorify the drug addict. They want your son hooked on dope. And anybody who's ever had a drug addict in their family knows that a drug addict does not add to black wealth. A drug addict only adds trauma. A drug addict only adds pain. A drug addict only adds disappointment. So the fact that you're not more direct about dealing with the effect that drugs has on the black community and the trillions in lost wealth that has occurred due to various addictions that go unaddressed, like drugs and alcohol, is another reason why your wealth is not growing. You have to clean up your community if your community is ever going to be clean. You're going to have to just step up and say, no, this is not appropriate. This is not how we operate. If you go to the Nation of Islam, the Nation of Islam will make it 100% clear that this kind of behavior is not appropriate for a black man. That's why the Nation of Islam has some of the strongest, most solid black men that you'll ever meet. They're disciplined. They're smart. They show up on time. They don't let people down. They know what the hell to do in various situations. They want knowledge and information. Why is that not the standard for all of black America? Why have we embraced other ways of thinking that are dropped on us by people who don't want us to succeed? I mean, you have to understand this. So really, when I look at something like a Zion Williamson situation, I'm not just thinking about him and this porn star. Whatever. I'm really thinking about the bigger picture. I'm looking at the trend here. I tend to see trends and patterns. So actually, I'm going to play this little video for you guys. It's on my Instagram. My Instagram is Dr. Boyce Finance. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. And by the way, if you want to get a copy of my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, feel free to go to drboycebooks.com. There's a lot of stuff there, as well as our flashcards for kids. We have financial flashcards and workbooks if you want to teach your kids wealth, stuff like that. That's our mission. All right, so let me play this clip. Give me a yes if you can hear this. I'm going to play this video. It's on my Instagram. Here it goes.
Everybody deserves a chance to be heard. And I hope me and any of the other victims, I just hope we all get justice. And the amount of bashing, humiliation, slander, and threats that I've been receiving these last 3 years have been a lot. And it's causing me a lot of stress. Everybody deserves a chance to be heard, and I hope me and any of the other victims, I just hope we all get justice. And the amount of bashing, humiliation, slander, and threats that I've been receiving.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop sharing here because my wife is about to start her book club pretty soon, and so she's a therapist and she does a relationship book club every Sunday. If you want to be invited, text the word love to the number 87948, and I'll send you an invitation. But anyway, so here's the thing. So with Zion Williamson, so you got this lawsuit that's being filed by this one woman who says that he was beating up on her and stuff like that, which obviously is not appropriate. Also, she's making allegations about drug use, things like that. And one thing about drugs and alcohol is it causes you to act out of character. What I'm going to do really quickly, and I can't go into it in the detail that I want to go into it, but I'm going to go through it later on, maybe in class tomorrow. There are some financial theories that actually relate to this. So anybody who's interested in building wealth, how many wealth builders are in the building? Give me a yes if you're a wealth builder or a wealth protector. If you're a wealth builder or wealth protector, you'll want to understand these concepts. The first is something called asymmetric information. One thing that celebrities deal with, and I'm not a celebrity like Zion Williamson, but people know me in the street. I walk down the street and people know who I am, is that you are impacted by something called asymmetric information. That means that the people that approach you know more about you than you know about them. When people approach me on the street, I don't know if I'm being approached by a friend or a foe. When an athlete gets approached by a beautiful woman, you don't know what her agenda is. She might have been studying you. She might know how much money you make. She might know what you like. And so she may have intentions that are not good for you. And so athletes that are smart are the ones who live with their head on a swivel. They're not ones who will lay down with any pretty thing in the skirt. But some athletes are trained. Again, the culture makes you stupid. The culture trains you to not use your brain. The culture trains you to believe that fame will protect you from the consequences of bad choices. So if it was the case that he was doing some things he shouldn't have done, he's going to pay a much higher price for it than most people will because he's got so much money. There's also something called moral hazard. Moral hazard is basically where somebody takes on extra risk because they don't feel the consequences of their behavior. So a lot of athletes, they date recklessly. They assume that their lawyers and their fame is going to protect them. And ultimately, though, they get hit with the lawsuits, their reputation gets hit, and there's a huge financial cost when those relationships go bad. Another area is what they call opportunity cost. Opportunity cost, it basically means everything you choose, every person you spend time with, there's a cost to that. There's something that you're giving up in order to do that. So if you are spending all your time in court, if you're spending all your time trying to protect your reputation, then it's really hard to spend that time building and creating. And so this is one of the things I've talked to you guys about a lot. One of the reasons why therapy is so important and conflict resolution matters is that if you spend your time learning how to manage your relationships properly, then you won't have to spend your time dealing with the damage that comes from broken relationships. People can't build if they're spending all their time fighting. So with Zion being stuck in court, defending himself with these lawsuits, his capacity to be an asset to his community is pretty much muted and to some extent almost completely non-existent, right? So ultimately, one of the best pieces of advice I would give to these guys is keep your nose clean, man. Find some people you trust, stay around those people, like running up and down the streets with any big booty lady that comes in your radius. That's kind of a sucker move. That's really not very smart. And it seems like Zion, I'm wondering if he's being led by his genitals as opposed to being led by his brain. And so what I'm going to do is later on, I'm going to cover some more of the financial theories that you can learn from this. I think every time somebody gets punked out of his money, I think that there's an opportunity to learn. A man can spend 15 years building a fortune and lose it all in 15 minutes. And so Zion isn't just facing a legal risk. He's facing a brand risk. Basically, his brand, when you're accused of something like that, a lot of brands will not partner with you just based on the allegation. Also, considering that you're a black man, people will automatically believe it because you're black. Also, the average NBA player is actually broke within 5 years of retirement. So the question then becomes, at what point do we confront this and start talking about this in a more honest and authentic way? And also talk about it in terms of saying, not only should you not be going broke, but your community should be benefiting from all this money that's being handed to you. And until the culture matures, until we force the black man to become a more mature individual and force him to understand his responsibility to his community, you're going to have these kinds of losses all day long. Club Shannon Sharp, I think he should be ashamed of himself. This man's 55 years old. People are calling you Unc. Young guys are looking up to you. You're supposed to be creating an opportunity zone for them. You're supposed to be clearing a path for them. But instead, we abandon our kids and we ask the white man to step in and do what we're supposed to be doing. You're a man. You're supposed to be creating a pathway for young people. You're supposed to be setting a good example. You're supposed to be giving them opportunities. But instead, you say, well, I'm not going to give you any opportunities. Joe Biden's going to give you opportunities. Your employer is going to give you opportunities. Everybody else is going to do it. But we're the ones that are supposed to be doing it. So when you get these multi-million-dollar Negroes up in the NBA, tricking away all their money because they're chasing big booty women in the strip club, that should be something that is not acceptable. That is not cool. That is not cool. And I don't care what anybody thinks about it, because you know as well as I do that this is silly. This is embarrassing. All right. So anyway, I got to go, guys. My wife is about to do her thing, so I don't want to make too much noise, but I will be back tomorrow morning. We'll be ready for class tomorrow. So if you want to join us in class, just text the word morning to the number 87948. And I will send you an invitation. And you can also go to drboyceelevate.com and you can join us in class. We do financial class every morning. It's free. Bring your all I ask is you bring your family. You ain't got to pay money. I just want you to pay attention, because everything you want to know about wealth, how to be financially secure, how to build, my PhDs in this stuff. This is very easy if you take the time to practice, take the time to study. I would like to help you with that. So feel free to text the word morning to the number 87948. I will send you an invitation. It will come from me. So God bless you. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. And I look forward to talking to you all soon. Take care. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.